Welcome to our executive interview series at CyberTalks presented by CyberScoop. I'm Wyatt Cash, and we're here with Cynthia Kaiser, Deputy Assistant Director for the FBI Cyber Division. Cynthia, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So, first, I'd like to ask what are the biggest challenges that your organization is currently facing trying to defend against the expanding attack surface, not only across your enterprise, but across the extended software supply chain?
Well, in 2020, the FBI redid our strategy that's really focused on imposing costs on cyber adversaries, emphasizing disruption, partnerships, and making it harder and more painful for our adversaries to succeed. What that really means is taking offline the actors who are conducting these activities, removing them from US networks, targeting and taking away the key services that the criminals rely on to be able to do their activities, and removing the cloak of anonymity that our actors consistently hide behind. And I think about that cloak of anonymity a lot because it's a lot harder nowadays with the expanding attack surface to identify who might be behind these activities. When I started working Cyber Matters, attribution was a lot more straightforward. You responded to an incident, you collected the technical artifacts, and then you evaluated them, connecting them with other similarities and getting to that attribution. But right now, it seems like all those activities are happening all at once. And really the changing environment behind the cyber criminal environment, the various technological evolutions that we've had, and other elements have created a situation where it's harder and harder to know who might be behind this activity. And it's really caused us to ask ourselves a lot of questions about what's important and what we need to do. And I think that to me, that centers around three things: speed, specificity, and success. So when we're looking at attribution and we're looking to help everybody about the expanded threat surface on their networks, everybody about, even those overarching risks to supply chains, we're thinking about, does somebody or do network defenders need the indicators before they need the attribution? Is country level attribution okay? And that's where we get into that specificity element. Do we need to just say it's China or Russia? Or do you need to say exactly who the actors are, the exact individuals? And then success. What are we actually trying to do? Are we trying to protect? Are we trying to charge? Are we trying to take offline the infrastructure or the actors who are doing this in the first place? And all of that goes together in how we're thinking about attribution. Now, this isn't new for the FBI. For over 100 years, we've been at the center of identifying bad actors and holding them accountable. And oftentimes, we're at that forefront of really identifying overlaps between cyber criminal activity, nation state activity, and being able to make those ties together so that we can protect everyone and all of our partner and be the good partner that we need to be to all of our partners. But I would be remiss in not saying that to be the good partner we need to ensure that FBI is also funded to be able to address this expanded attack surface so that we can ensure that we're doing the protection and the attribution and all of the elements we need to keep America safe.
So, next, I'd like to ask how has the continued attention around artificial intelligence and generative AI impacted the FBI's cybersecurity planning heading into the coming fiscal year?
Of course, like everyone else, we're focused on how AI can help us and assist us really in accomplishing our mission. For the FBI, that means using our authorities to protect the American people consistent with laws and policies, ranging the gambit from more efficiently analyzing data to protecting our own systems. But we're also focused on risk to the AI, especially homegrown US innovation, as well as the risks from adversaries who might be using AI to further target us. Our own innovation here that's developed here is always at risk from nation states, especially countries like China, who seek to steal rather than develop their own methods to be able to make these technical leaps forward. So of course, we're working with industry to be able to protect, develop our AI in a way in which it is not susceptible or is more protected from adversaries who seek to either steal or make our AI less efficient. But I think what we're even more attunely focused on is how our bad guys, how the folks who are seeking to do us harm might use AI. And I think the director said it really well. Director Ray has said, pretty much anyone you're thinking, gosh, I hope they're not using AI, is using AI. And to be clear, when I'm talking about these adversaries, I'm talking about Russia, China, Iran, North Korea, cyber criminals, and we see them doing it in three primary ways. One, it's labor saving. It allows them to be more efficient, and that means the business processes that a lot of us are using AI for to help us develop PowerPoints for the office or write things, but also checking to see if code has specific errors and the like. AI has also helped our adversaries make their fraud more believable. Especially when we think about, you hear the words deep fakes or the like, being able to use AI to make a better spear phishing email or make a video that looks like it's your CEO trying to ask you to transfer a lot of money. We've seen adversaries really try to amp up their use in this area to make themselves more money. And then finally, to enable them to be stealthier or really expand their attack surface. I think this one's a little more nascent, but we see adversaries really looking and playing with the AI that's existing or trying to develop additional capabilities to try to make it harder for us to identify them and to make them more successful in the process. But overall, what I'd note here is that the FBI is monitoring this closely alongside our partners. We're really attuned to identifying what is a real threat, what isn't, and how do we work with industry in particular to make sure that as we are approaching this emerging threat, like we've approached so many emerging threats throughout and emerging technologies throughout our existence, are protected, as well as we're using those emerging technologies to be able to do a lot of good across the U.S.
Well, it's certainly an enormous job, and appreciate folks like you are on the case. So, Cynthia Kaiser, thank you so much for adding to the conversation here at CyberTalks.
Thank you.